everyone, this is Betty again of Becoming Canadian. Welcome back to my vlog. So doon sa mga bago sa channel ko, this is Becoming Canadian, at kung hindi pa kayo nakapag-subscribe, pakahit na lang ang subscribe button at pahit ang all notification bell para lagi kayong ma-notify ni YouTube ng mga bago kong video about immigration or how to come here in Canada. Guys, bago pala ako magsimula, i-remind ko lang uli sa inyo, okay? Hanggang November 29 na lang, i-allow ng Canada na mag-board ng plane, ng domestic and international flight na plane ang mga taong hindi fully vaccinated. Kung may flight kayo after November 29, mas mabuting direct flight na ang kunin yung flight papunta doon sa pinaka-destination nyo. Kasi kung mag-in-transit kayo, hindi na kayo makakaboard kung hindi kayo fully vaccinated ng accepted vaccines ng Canada. Marami pa rin nagtatanong sa akin kung how to apply or how to do the process of immigrating to Quebec under the in-home caregiver program ng province ng Quebec. Iyon ay under sa temporary foreign worker low wage position ng Quebec. So, ngayon, yun ang ituturo ko sa inyo kung how to do it yourself. But of course, tulad ng lagi kong sinasabi sa inyo, bago kayo mag-apply o pumunta sa website, ay kumplituhin nyo na yung mga requirements na needed para sa pag-apply, sa pag-create ng profile, pagre-register sa website nila. Dahil talagang yun ang laging kakailanganin ng Canada Immigration. So ngayon pumunta na tayo sa website ng Quebec Immigration. So ito tayo sa Google at i-type nyo lang ang Quebec Immigration. Ito tayo sa homepage. So i-click nyo ang temporary workers and click obtaining the authorizations to work temporarily in Quebec. So piliin nyo tong temporary worker low wage position. At nandito, so ang temporary worker low wage position, kasama dyan lahat ng mga NOC/CND at ang mga caregivers. Makikita nyo, ito ang website na nagsasabing low wage position, comprise jobs in various fields and include positions also held by home care providers. So ang gagawin natin ngayon, ang i-discuss natin ngayon ay tungkol sa mga caregiver at nanny para makapasok dito sa temporary worker low wage position ng Quebec province. I-click nyo tong procedure for an in-home caregiver. So, dalawa ang phase na gagawin nyo sa pag-apply dito sa Quebec Caregiver Pathway. Una, kukuha kayo ng Certificate of Acceptance, which is kakailanganin nyo ang form ng application for certificate acceptance, which is makukuha nyo sa employer na makakausap nyo at willing kayong i-hire. So at first, you have to fill up the application for certificate of acceptance na ibibigay nyo sa employer na gustong mag-hire sa inyo. So it says here, you must send your employer everything they need to obtain a CAQ, which is Certificate of Acceptance, in your name. So, ito ang application for Certificate of Acceptance. I-click nyo yan. Use this form if you wish to come to Quebec as temporary worker. So, i-click nyo to. Pag kinlik nyo yan, madadownload itong application form. I-zoom natin. So, ayan. Makita nyo, application for temporary selection. So, nandyan kung who can complete this form, steps to follow. Itong importante, lagi nyo titingnan yung steps to follow. At meron silang special na note dito, place your documents and supporting documents in the following order. So, kung ano yung pagkakasunod-sunod, based do sa document checklist, yun ang dapat pagkakaayos ng inyong papers at pagkakaayos ng documents nyo sa envelope pag sinend nyo na. Payment of the required fee, Part 1, duly completed and signed. Part 2, duly completed. Other forms and declarations all your documents and supporting documents in the order indicated in Part 2. So, dapat maingat kayo, dapat sundin nyo yung order ng arrangement. So, ito na yung application form. So, kaya ito, ibibigay sa employer at sila magpa-process nito kasi may mga part ito na part ng employer, sila ang sasagot. So, ayan. Be sure to correctly complete the section entitled authorization. So, authorization nyo yun sa employer to authorize your employer to represent you in your procedure with the minister. So, parang sila ang representative nyo, yung mismong employer. This form must be accompanied by supporting documents. So, ano ang mga documents na isasubmit nyo sa employer kasama itong form na to? So, kailangan bibigyan nyo yung employer lahat ng itong copies na to. A photocopy of the pages of your passport that feature your name, place of birth, and signature. Your detailed, up-to-date curriculum vitae or CV or your resume, kailangan detailed siya at up-to-date. Photocopy of your diplomas and transcripts accompanying them. Photocopy of your diploma and corresponding transcripts. So, Xerox copy lang to, including your high school diploma and corresponding transcripts. So, kung meron kayong Form 137, kasi ang tinitingnan nila dito yung meron ka ng English eh. Kasi itong sa Quebec, pwedeng wala ng IELTS, pwede na rin walang ECA, depende sa nakalagay sa transcript mo at sa iyong diploma. Take note na ang Quebec province ay French ang first language nila, kaya hindi sila masyadong nagbibigay ng weight sa English, although nire-require din nila marunong ka mag-English. Photocopy of the original proofs of employment. So, that is work contract containing a description of duties and number of weekly hours. So, malinaw ito guys yung contract nyo of employment, kailangan malinaw doon kung ano ang mga duties and number of hours nyo, weekly hours nyo, or bi-weekly hours nyo, or whatever. Another one is pay stub. So, yung pay stub, kasi ini-establish nila dito, dapat yung experience mo ay paid experience. Contributions to Social Security, which is SSS history. Work permit or any other legal proof of payment for job experience. So, kung meron kayong work permit, pwede nyo rin isubmit yon as proof of your experience. Or, nakita nyo naka-bold letter yung or? A photocopy of the original certificate of qualifications corresponding to the field of employment in which you've been hired. So, if pinahire ka as a home support worker or child caregiver or adult caregiver, so pwede kayo, besides sa experience, pwede kayong mag-submit ng photocopy ng certification ng training nyo at course related to caregiving or child care. Tapos naka-note dito, ang training daw ninyo must have been full-time in a vocational school for a period of at least 6 months. And you must present the diploma and the corresponding transcripts. So, kung meron kayong training or course, dapat 6 months na full-time na course yun. Tapos, meron kayong diploma or transcript or certificate ng training na yun. So, it's either experience or training or course. Yung job experience nyo para mag-recognize, it has been legally acquired over 1 year. So, 1 year above na experience during the last 3 years, during the 3 years preceding submission of application. So, in short, within the last 3 years. So, 2021, dapat experience nyo 2018. Beyond 2018, hindi na siya mare-recognize yung experience nyo na yan. Have been remunerated, sabi ko nga, dapat paid, sumweldo kayo, hindi lang sa kamag-anak na libre ang caregiving, hindi. Dapat sumweldo kayo. Have been performed full-time, dapat full-time job, walang interruption, for a minimum period of 6 months. Dapat employed kayo 6 months with the same employer. have been performed in the field of home care for a child, an elderly person, or a person with disability or in a related field. So, dapat yung experience nyo related experience sa child care or home care or elderly care. Kung yung diploma nyo or transcript, wala kayong mga nakalagay doon na English subject o kaya dalawa lang nakita nilang subject, maaari nila kayong hingan ng IELTS. You must send the application for Certificate of Acceptance for temporary work duly completed and signed directly to the employer. Be sure to correctly complete the authorization given to employer. Kasi kung hindi nyo i-complete yun, hindi nyo pipirmahan, hindi nyo authorize ang employer, hindi ipaprocess ng ministry sa Quebec. So guys, malinaw yung mga requirements. Ito pa lang ang first step. Dahil ito, i-issuehan kayo ng temporary. Once na makakuha kayo ng Certificate of Acceptance, based sa unang application nyo na to, mai-issuehan kayo ng work permit. At makakapunta na kayo dito at makakapag-work kayo sa province of Quebec. Tapos noon, 2 years kayo mag-work, tsaka nyo i-apply yung permanent residence nyo. So, balik tayo sa main menu. So, nakalagay doon, application, certificate of acceptance, okay, na-accomplish nyo na. Supporting documents, meron na rin kayo. Payment of the fees required by Government of Quebec. So, may bayad yun pagkuha ng certificate of acceptance para ring LMIA. Pero ang LMIA, ang bayad doon $1,000. Ito naman sa Quebec Province, pagkuha ng certificate of acceptance para ring LMIA ito, ay ang price ay $205. As of January 1st, 2021, application for temporary selection for a temporary foreign worker is $205. Note that these fees can be paid by your employer. So guys, ito lang ang tatlong gagawin nyo, tapos isasubmit nyo sa employer nyo, tapos mag-aantay lang kayo ng Certificate of Acceptance. So, once na masubmit na lahat ito, anong mangyayari sa application? If the application submitted by your employer is accepted by the Ministry of Immigration of Quebec and Service Canada, you must apply to the Government of Canada for a work permit. So, mangyayari, pag na-release na yung Certificate of Acceptance nyo, bibigay sa inyo ng employer yung 2 kopya nun. Tapos, mag-a-apply kayo sa Canada Immigration ng work permit. At pwede nyo ring isama ang pamilya nyo, pati ang asawa mo, na pwede nyong kunan ng work permit, provided na makapasa sila sa lahat ng health and security requirements. So guys, ano ang maibibigay kong tip sa inyo? Ito ang mabibigay kong tip sa inyo. Wala siyang IELTS as ECA, high school diploma lang, minimum nila at least grade 11 or 11 years of high school and elementary school combined. So, minimum lang nila 11 years. So, equivalent nun sa atin ay first year or second year college. So, pwede nyong gawin ito guys. Kung high school lang ang natapos nyo, since wala naman kayong babayaran dito, itry nyo pa rin kahit high school graduate kayo. Magbigay lang kayo ng diploma nyo at instead of transcript of records, magbigay kayo ng Form 137 kung saan nakalagay yung mga subject nyo. Nakakita na ba kayo noon ng Form 137 na kukunin nyo sa school nyo? Tapos, itry nyo i-complete yung ibang requirements like passport, contract of employment, or certificate of employment. Tapos, itry nyo i-submit sa employer, total, sila naman ang magbabayad ng application. Halimbawa, nakakita kayo ng employer sa Canadian nanny, pero sa province ng Quebec, mag-submit kayo sa employer, sila naman ang magbabayad ng $205. Wala kayong gagastusin. I-send nyo lang yung resume nyo. So, yung mga high school graduate na lumalapit sa akin, nagme-message sa akin kung pwede ba sila, I advise na itry nyo dun sa Quebec. Ang mawawala lang naman sa inyo kung hindi kayo ma-approve ay yung effort nyo. Pero talagang ganun. Kailangan nyo mag-try. Hindi nyo malalaman kung hindi nyo ita-try. Okay? So instead of transcript, ang i-submit nyo ay high school diploma nyo at yung Form 137 nyo. So mag-request na kayo sa school kung saan kayo gumraduate. Unlike sa federal, which is magbabayad na kagad kayo kasama ng application nyo at hindi kayo sure kung ma-approve kayo, which is definitely hindi kayo ma-approve sa federal kung high school graduate lang kayo sa atin. I-try nyo to, yun ang sinasuggest ko sa inyo. Meron pa kayong isang chance dito sa Quebec Pathway. Once na gustuhan kayo ng employer at willing naman silang i-process ang certificate of acceptance nyo, i-try nyo to guys. Ako high school graduate, talaga itatry ko to. Kasi wala namang ibang requirements na hinihingi sa akin. Isasubmit. Ibig sabihin, wala naman akong pagkakagastusan sa pagsubmit ko. Itry ko lang humanap ng employer sa province ng Quebec. Okay guys, I hope na nakatulong na naman sa inyo tong vlog na to. At sana yung iba sa inyong hindi pa nakakakita ng employer, I hope na makakita na kayo this time. Thanks for watching guys, and for those who haven't subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell notification para ma-notify kayo ng mga bago kong videos. Stay safe guys, and God bless to all of you.